Welcome back to Delatory Stories, where we interview local legends, interesting people, and business owners. Today we have with us Mason Cravens. Go ahead and introduce yourself there, Mason.
Well, I'm Mason Cravens. I'm from Jamestown, just up the road. I'm Mr. Tennessee, won Mr. Tennessee in 2023, and I assume today we're going to talk a little bit about that and bodybuilding. So, yeah.
We also have our longtime co-host, Hunter Crouch, with us today.
Come on.
He is not a bodybuilder. You can tell
No,
by,
I'm not.
Tell
But
by looking at him.
I'm about to learn. I'm about to learn how to be one, and then the grind starts tomorrow for me. So
Hunter
I'm
has
excited.
he has been working on, they're redoing the school's gym out there. So Hunter,
Redoing the weight room, got new racks.
Where at?
At Sunbright. So
Oh, yeah?
our football team got a whole new facility, and then we got the old weight room, and we painted the walls. We got like this wall wrap coming up. Got new racks, all new equipment, new dumbbells, stuff like that.
state of the art. Anybody out there listening, the
Yeah.
transfer rules coming in, come to Sunbright. They're state of the art now.
Yes, transfer to Sunbright.
How is the Sunbright thing going?
Oh, it's great, dude. I
I
love
meant to
it.
ask you.
I love it. I've got to be one of the athletic directors now. I took a new position. I'm like kind of like in the office now. I'm the graduation coach, attendance coach, so I keep track of all that stuff. And then I coach the boys basketball team. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it, man. It's nice.
Awesome, dude. That's cool. I every time I see a picture of you guys winning, I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah,
Well, I
that gets
appreciate
me.
it. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
so very cool.
Yeah, we're starting from the bottom, but we're getting there.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, this
Get
ain't your
better.
podcast. Huh?
Sorry, man. We're just catching up with a long-time friend here.
I know. All right, Mason, just go ahead and just tell us a little bit about how you got into bodybuilding to start.
Well, whenever I was in high school, I played football, and we worked out, obviously. But for whatever reason, when we was playing, I didn't care anything about it at all. And obviously, that was a big void in my life, that field for 4 years or so. And afterwards, when it was over, I just kind of had that feeling of I need something to get me going every day. And so I started working out just January of 2017. Football was over for me.
That would have been your senior year, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. So football was done, and I started going up to get fit. I think now it's New Horizon 24/7. Very cool for that. I think that's what they're
Yeah,
calling it,
yeah, we had
right?
them on.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say, you had them on the podcast.
Yeah, we had them on the podcast.
Yeah, so that's where I started. Had a couple workout partners there, and I was not really into bodybuilding at the time, though. I don't really know what I wanted then. I just filled that time gap that I was used to having with football. So I started working out. I really like the bench press, and you're 18 years old. I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"Ah,
Oh, yeah.
I want to bench press. And all of
You're gonna
that.
have those ego lifts in there.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you?
I was ego lifting, buddy. Like, that was it. Never worked out my legs at all. It was like chest, arms, shoulders, repeat,
Skipping leg
And
day.
yeah, I absolutely did.
Yeah, I feel like people don't realize until they start maturing a little bit how important your legs are to your overall strength.
That's absolutely true. And I don't know what was really going through my head at the time. I don't really remember, but I can specifically remember not taking an off day 7 days a week, but just rotating arms, chest, shoulders, back, and that was it. And I had no idea how to train either, so I was just really in there because I just liked being there. And I went to college after that summer of 17, and kind of kept the same thing going at the fit at Tech. I had some buddies up there. Obviously, you go there and there's more people and people in better shape, and you kind of want to look like that too, I guess. And so as I progressed, I just wanted to be a little better. And then there's this guy, his name was Callum Von Moger. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was on Instagram, and he looked awesome, and that kind of was the original push into bodybuilding because I thought he looked great. And I just from then I slowly, just little by little, got here. Like I'm I never would have thought I would be 260 pounds or whatever I am right now. That was not the goal at all.
What'd you weigh, like, right before you got to Tech?
Probably 190, 195. But when actually, no, it's probably less than that.
Yeah, what about when you graduated high school? That's
Yeah.
what I was kind of thinking.
When I graduated high school, I was really starting to kind of get going with trying to eat just a lot of food and do my everything but leg workout split. And I was probably 165, 170.
I was about to say, because Shay or somebody posted a memory on Facebook, and I was like, dude, look at Mason. And I think
you honestly you see like an old picture of you, and it's like that's the same guy.
Who is that guy?
Do you wish you had worked out more when you were playing football? Looking back on it, do you wish you
or like took it more serious? Or
yes, that doing what I do now really kind of has proven to me what you can get out of a consistent grind.
Right.
Like this is like every day, like an everyday 24/7. It doesn't really stop. And if I could have done that when I was playing football, I think I could have been dramatically better, and I would have been a better leader as well. I played quarterback, so that's part of the thing. And I didn't understand that. I was still a little immature, probably, and that's one thing I guess I regret a little.
Yeah, that's how most people are. At the younger age, we talk about that all the time. They just they don't have that discipline like you talked about. And then like we talked to Landon Baldwin about it. He said that he wished he had took it more serious back then because what could have been.
Right.
Yeah, he could have signed a college scholarship or something. For
yeah, I mean, you don't really know how the effect that discipline has on you until you are disciplined for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not even been disciplined for a long time, but the last 3 years at least, I've been pretty steady.
That's longer than probably 99% of people, I would say.
That's longer than most.
And it's the trajectory that you go on is pretty linear, and especially when you're young, it's so easy to adapt to things and easy to progress. When you're real young, your body's very dynamic. So, if you start early, you can put yourself way ahead very quickly. And nobody's that way in high school, by the way. Not many people.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
So, yeah, if you're in high school and you have an opportunity to do that, absolutely start grinding because it can make a very big difference.
And get your diet right, too. That's a big thing. I feel
yeah.
like younger people, they never get their diet right. Anybody, not even just younger people, but anybody never gets their diet dialed in.
Yeah, diet is hard. It is. It takes time because you'll think you're eating a lot or you think you're eating clean and you're really not, when I start getting ready for a show, I guess would be what people would consider eating clean. Like 4 months straight, I don't have anything other than my 6 meals that's measured, and my coach adjusts it every so often to keep me going the trajectory that I'm on. And there's no Chick-fil-A, there's no nothing like that. 4 months, just
4 months straight.
Yeah.
No cheat day at all?
No.
Really?
And if I get extra, it's just like a clean refeed. So it'll be like, instead of 200 grams of rice, I'll get 300 grams of rice, for each meal. Which, when you're hungry, that's awesome. I don't know how to describe that, but when you're hungry, that's awesome.
So, obviously, two completely different things, but what would you tell, like, my high school basketball players right now? What should they be eating? And how? And if you're gonna cheat, which they're going to, they're kids. They're gonna drink pop, they're gonna eat candy. But like, what would you suggest they eat?
Which I guess that's not to interrupt there, but that's kind of going to be just depending on what your goals are, right?
Right.
I mean, if you want to play basketball, you're going to be in a different kind of shape than if you want to be a bodybuilder.
But I'm assuming you know a thing or two about dieting at this point. So,
yeah,
like, what would just be like a recommendation if one of them were to listen to this podcast?
I'm a big fan of like simple stuff. So like chicken, rice, beef, potato, oatmeal, eggs, stuff like that. Any of that kind of food is good.
It's like your whole foods.
Yes, but I'll say for them, they need to have a frequency of eating that would be probably just as important. So like, if you eat twice a day or 3 times a day, you're not going to be getting to where you're trying to go.
Right.
I think no matter what you're trying to do, if you're trying to perform in any way, you need to at least have like 4 meals and maybe a shake a day. I mean, I could argue 5 and a shake would be better, but
Really?
yeah, it's just frequency. Your body gets conditioned to metabolizing like that, and
Right.
your metabolism gets better.
Well, I was about to say their metabolism's high.
Yeah, when you're a
To
kid
be-
too, you can hammer food and you look great,
You're right.
you know, and
Eat whatever you want.
But if you could take advantage of that by really pushing some food in, you could really make a difference.
Just
I mean,
heavy
not
on the
even just for your
protein.
physique, but just performance. you
Right.
know.
Heavy on the protein, just
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be overly heavy on the protein, I wouldn't say. I mean, I would say maybe a pound to
a gram.
a gram to 1.5,
Yeah.
you know, was a pretty decent marker for protein, I would say.
Sweet.
What does a normal day just look like for you when you're training and training and eating wise, and just take us through
Like how much food or
just kind of take us through your day, what that looks like. You get up and you're what are you doing
like
from
a
there?
Ashton Hall
Like say let's
routine.
let's say you're 2 weeks out. You're 2 weeks out from a show. What's that day going to look like?
Well, right now, I'm certainly a lot more busy with work and stuff. So I can give you 2 separate ones. I can
Yeah,
give you,
that works.
like before I done,
Yeah, like an off season
before I
one.
done Mr. Tennessee, I was in college still, working part time.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really show up to class much. In college. I don't recommend,
didn't.
by the way.
Didn't either.
kind of makes that time a lot longer. But anyway, I was eating, so I eat 6 times a day. I get up, do cardio, probably 2 weeks out, maybe 45 minutes first thing out of bed. And back then I'd drive to the gym, do those 45 minutes, come back, have my first meal. And then at that point in time, I was sleeping. If I could, probably not going to sleep much because I'm so amped up. You get in a weird headspace when you're that close. And I would say 2 hours on the dot. Like when you're hungry like that, you're eating when you're supposed to. So 2 hours later, I'm eating. And then I'm laying down trying to watch TV, Netflix, or sleep. But like I said, you don't really I personally can't enjoy anything. Like if I'm trying to watch TV, I can't get into it. My mind's all over the place. So I'm just sitting, relaxing, chilling, and then every 2 hours eating. And then after my 4th meal, which is my pre-workout meal, I'll go to the gym, work out, and then
How long does that workout last?
an hour and a half probably.
Hour and a half.
That's probably a decent time to say, I would imagine. And then after that, probably another 45 minutes of cardio right after. And then get home, have my post-workout meal, and then my before-bed meal, and then go to sleep. But for nationals this past year, I'm not in college anymore, and I work kind of a lot. And it is... I get up. I've got a treadmill in my garage now, which is a game changer because I don't have to go to the gym. I just get up and get in the garage, do my 30 or 45 minutes of cardio, I would eat oats like, oats are a thick thing, like to eat. My first meal is oats, blueberries, whey protein, and peanut butter. And I would, after I get done with my cardio and got my work clothes on, I'd mix my oats up, dude, as thick as I could. Like, I'm telling you, as thick as I could. And it's not a lot, probably 80 grams of oats, I think, at the time. And I would eat it on the way to work. And by the time I pulled into work, it's gone,
Right.
So that's 6 in the morning. Oats are done. First thing of cardio is done. Then around 10, chicken and rice meal, eat that. Around 2, another chicken and rice meal, eat that. And get off work about 4:30. Eat my pre-workout meal. Go to the gym, hour and a half. 45 minutes cardio after. By this time, I've gotten off work, showered, ate. I'm probably getting home at 9 o'clock. And then having my post-workout meal and then my before-bed meal. And then right back in the bed to do it again. So
7 days a week.
yeah, that's, working 5.
Yeah.
So that's my work week.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, it's pretty much like it was when I was not working.
So you got up this morning, hit cardio, and then came here?
No, I'm not in prep right now. I ain't doing
Oh.
cardio. I'll do my cardio post-workout for sure.
When is the next event?
December. Same show as last year.
Oh, okay.
I got fixated on that one a little bit, so I'm hoping we can get it done this year there.
That was in Dallas, Texas. Is
Yes,
that right?
Dallas,
And it's there again this year, same spot.
And that's the same one you got 5th in last year,
Right.
and you're coming back to win it this year.
Yes, that's right.
We can go ahead and lock that in. You're guaranteeing a win on the podcast here.
Lock it in.
So your coach is
Pro card.
Cade Zook.
Cade Zook. Yeah.
Dude, I, every time like you tag him in something, I always click on his page. I'm like, God, this guy is just.
How'd you get hooked up with him?
So when I first came to college, I worked at GNC, and there was a guy I worked with. His name was AJ Bryant, and he was the man. And he was working with Cade at the time, and I was working out like, you know, typical gym douche guy, wasn't doing legs. AJ kind of was teaching me the ways, you know, of the force, if you will. And I thought it was awesome. And so I was like, I'm gonna try this bodybuilding thing out, you know. And so at first, actually, AJ was kind of helping me with my diet and stuff. And he eventually just said, you know, I think you would do better if you worked with my coach. And I was like, all right, cool. And he hit him up, and he started working with me. And I look back at those pictures now, and man, they're terrible. Like, I sucked. And like, he still, you know, he took me on and helped me out a lot. I didn't even compete that year. That was COVID year. So they canceled the show I wanted to do. For a second, I was going to try to do a different one, but ended up not doing it. And yeah, that's how I got with Cade. And I've been with him ever since.
And he's from Cookville?
Cade?
Yeah.
No, Cade's from Kingsport.
Kingsport. Okay.
You talk about looking back on your pictures. Whenever you post like a before and after picture, it's crazy because like you look in those older pictures, like back then, everybody would have seen that and be like, "Man, this guy's jacked."
Yeah, look at this.
And like you would think, "Man, you can't get no bigger than that." And then you'll come back and you'll be bigger and more ripped and stuff, and it's just like, how, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's pretty crazy to see.
Well, at the time, in the before, you're proud of that at the time.
Yeah, because that's your best at the time.
Right. And it's kind of what gives you the mind issues of like you're always wanting to be better, you know, because you're like, this is where I am, but I could be here, and then you get there and you're like, well, I could be there, you know. And but yeah, I've working with Cade, we've made pretty significant jumps every year as far as my physique goes, and we're going to continue that here next year.
What does a workout at the gym look like for you? On like, are you just mixing it up most of the time, or are you doing heavy sets for just a few reps? Is that kind of, it just depends on what you're wanting to work out?
People probably consider my stuff to be a little bit higher volume. I mean, I would say I train as heavy as I can. So if I'm squatting as heavy as I can for 8 to 12 reps for my top sets. And that can be very heavy or not. I mean, considering or depending on who you ask, that might be, you know. But for me, that's what I do on everything. Everything is whatever my rep range is for my top sets is as heavy as I can go for it. And I think that's where sometimes that kind of gets lost with people. People think like, I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 of bench press, and they go in and they do 3 sets of 10 of bench press, and it's not difficult, and they just do it 10 times and they move on. And I don't think you're going to get much out of that.
Yeah, you're not going to grow any unless you're challenging yourself.
Yeah.
So you're like on rep 9, like struggling.
Yeah. Yeah. There's actually a video on Instagram. I don't know if you guys remember this, but last year I had a video of me squatting it was like 405. I was like 3 weeks out for my show, and which is not really a time when I'm very strong usually.
Right.
And I was videoing it to post on my story on Instagram or whatever, and I failed in the rack, and the guy was spotting me. I just like fall back. And that's the way I like to train if I can, you know, is to the point of I can't move anymore. But I think that's what gives you the most stimulus for growth. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you said, we're just normal people working out. They're not really pushing themselves to that point. Mm-hmm. So and then they wonder why they're not growing.
Right. I mean, you'll go to the gym and you'll see people that are in there every day like you. Like I see the same people all the time. And some of them get better and some of them are the same as they was 4 years ago, you know? Right. And they're still showing up though. I mean,
It's
you can't-
great that
Like
they're
they're
here.
here, and you got to give them. Like I respect that a little.
Right.
And some people just want that. I mean,
There's some people are
there's some
satisfied
people
with
out
that,
there who
yeah.
just want to maintain how they look.
Right,
Right.
They
right.
don't,
And
they
I,
don't want to get bigger.
honestly, I respect the people that they're coming in there. They have no aspiration for anything as far as bodybuilding or powerlifting or anything within the gym goes.
Yeah.
But they get done with work and they come in there and they spend their time and they work out. I mean, you got to give them some kind
Yeah.
of props.
They just
for
get
it.
that physical activity in for
yeah,
the day. And
yeah, and they may look the exact same
Yeah. But hey,
every year, but it's like, I mean, they're here.
They're doing more than most people.
right,
yeah.
I say better than going home laying on the
Yeah,
couch.
I mean, there's a lot worse to do, and that's why sometimes I get a little tore up if the gym's real packed because I can't get in the stuff I want.
But
then
that was
you're like,
gonna be a question I asked you.
you're just like, but I mean, there's a lot worse places to be. I mean, these people
Right,
are here and they're
right.
trying, so
Yeah, you can't knock anybody for going to the gym and,
Right.
and doing something. I
Right.
mean, even if they're weigh 500 pounds, if they're in there trying, you
Yeah.
know, you got to give them some respect for
And,
doing something.
and most everybody is going to respect people that are trying in there. They
Yeah.
are.
Right.
The people that get that kind of make it not all that cool sometimes are the ones that are just in there just screwing around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you do get that a lot,
the assholes.
Where do you
a lot of
work
cell
at?
phone users,
Where you work at now?
Absolute Fitness.
Absolute. Is that where?
It's right across from Kroger.
Okay. Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah, the woman who runs it, she's a pro. She's very good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I actually used to go to work out anytime. I went there for
Is that where Austin goes Monday?
yes.
That's what I
I went there for probably 5 years or something,
Okay,
and
that's what I thought.
I had nothing against the gym at all. I just
Right.
needed a little bit of a change of scenery, and I needed to improve in some spots that I felt like Absolute gave me a better advantage.
So is that more like the bodybuilding?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
You got kind of more of a bodybuilding gym, or
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, there's more bodybuilders there.
Right.
You can bodybuild in any gym.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, they're both good gyms. Working Anytime's kind of got more of that kind of corporate gym feel, really clean.
Yeah.
Their stuff's a little more, I don't want to say generic, but they're, the equipment they have.
it's a little more geared toward the general population.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I need some specific stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to kind of make certain things
You just
better.
need shit you can throw around.
Yeah. And that place is doing great. I mean, they've done a whole remodel, and there's a gazillion people in there all the time. And that's kind of why.
That used to be like a yoga / aerobics gym, did it not?
What?
Like the Absolute Fitness. Like years ago.
I don't know.
Oh, that building right there.
Yeah.
You're saying that building
It
used to
used
be?
to
Yeah.
be Cookeville Fitness Center. It's the one
Cookeville
they're in
Fitness
now.
Center. I always remember like it was like yoga, aerobics,
Yeah,
Pilates.
Yeah.
I remember it always had signs like that, so that's what I thought it
But
was.
they actually, Absolute used to be on down by where like Bargain City is.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right. That's
yeah.
where I remember it
That's
being.
where it used to be, but now it's right there across from Kroger,
Yeah.
where the Cookeville Fitness Center used to be, which is a great spot.
Yeah.
Great gym.
How long have you been going there for?
I started going there like full time right after my show,
Okay.
this past one. So just because, like I said, I had some stuff that needs to get worked on, and it'd be better for me to be there. I would say that.
Is your coach there every day you work out, or?
No, he's from Kingsport.
I was about to
I'll
say
see him.
Kingsport's. That's what,
I'll see him every couple months or something. We'll try to link up and work it out
Right.
or whatever.
Is he putting you on a schedule, like a training schedule, or is he just more helping you on the diet?
He helps me on the diet.
Yeah.
Kind of getting me dialed in like that. I do all my own training, but he gives me a lot of insight, though. I always try to pick his brain because, I mean, you saw him. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He went pro. He's like 320 or 30 pounds or something in his off season. So, I mean, he was a big guy. He knows how to do it.
Oh yeah. He's been there, done that.
Yeah. And he he's real simple, and he's not trying to outsmart working hard. And so he's a good one to have.
Yeah, there's no substitute for just discipline and hard work, is there?
There's zero. And you'll see it all over Instagram and stuff. People trying to just figure out the cute little ways to do stuff that they say is better. But
Yeah.
none of them that tell you that are saying this are good or big or anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, none of them are. So I tend to want to listen to whoever is great at what they do,
Yeah. What about in the off season? Are you still like weighing your food? I'm assuming you weigh everything out
Yeah.
during when you're getting ready. Are you doing that all the time?
Yeah, I do that year round.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll just be now in the off season where we're kind of pushing it a little bit. I just got a significant amount of food more than
Yeah, you just do it a little bit differently,
yeah,
but
we're
you're
pushing that
still
up a little bit.
you're still throwing everything on the scale and,
Yep.
and dialing it all in.
So have you just built like a tolerance of just like, no, I'm not pulling in there and getting that blizzard today? Like how does that work?
I guess, yeah. Like, it's funny. Whenever I was in high school and stuff, we ate like McDonald's every day.
Dude, I
we're
know,
starting
right?
we're going like Dairy Queen.
Yes.
We are getting blizzard.
Yeah.
Thursday mornings for football games, we're going to eat biscuit and gravy.
Different time back then.
I grew up like that's just what we did.
Yeah.
And it took like this whole from 2017 to now. It's taken me kind of conditioning myself for that. Now it's like I don't even think about that kind of stuff really.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you even like sweets anymore?
I mean, I like them, but
Do you have like in the off season? You may already answer this. I can't remember. But do you ever do any sort of cheat day at all? Like ever?
I don't do a cheat day. I'll have cheat meals though. Like I got 6 meals a day on my
Right.
diet. For my post workout meals, usually when I do it, I'll have whatever Shay wants for the day or whatever. We'll just, and that's usually just like twice a week.
Right.
What's your favorite cheat food?
Yeah. What's a cheat meal look like for you?
I really like Five Guys burgers and fries.
Oh, man.
I love Five Guys. That and sushi. I love sushi too.
Oh yeah,
You need a lot of sushi.
Is sushi not clean?
Well, it's not really about that. It's just it's not on my diet.
It's
So
not.
like,
Okay.
my diet is just those 6 meals, and that's just what I eat. And if I'm off my plan, that's just a free meal.
Right.
I don't know, some of them sushis you get from Drake's and stuff.
Well, that's
that are drowned in all different kinds of
Yeah.
sauces and all this and that. I
They're
don't,
fried.
They got like a crab raccoon roll there.
yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sushi.
but it is deep fried and got like
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then people will be like, "I'm eating crab, so it's okay."
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Is it?
See, that's
really?
like that goes back to like the people thinking they're eating clean all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. Maybe just like the ball of rice with the raw fish over it.
Yeah. No,
that's pretty clean.
Pretty clean food. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, people will go to McDonald's and be like, "Oh, I got the chicken nuggets instead of the Big Mac."
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how many calories is that a day? Like like what do you like? What's a calorie count for you look like a day?
I've not really calculated my current one. I'm usually in the off season like in the 5,000 to 6,000 range.
Jeez.
But it's clean food, and that's a lot of clean food, boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot. But yeah, that's probably about what it is in the off season. And in a prep, I get down probably like in the 2,500 range, and that feels like nothing. Like
Right.
that is nothing. You know.
Right.
So are you meal prepping every week on like a Sunday, or you getting
No.
ready for the week?
Cook
Or
it fresh every day usually.
fresh every day?
But right now, I can't really take credit for cooking it. My wife cooks it during the week because I don't have time. Usually, I get home, eat, gym, I'm back. It's 8:30. I got to get up at 5.
Right.
I try to be in bed by 9:30 or 10 if I can.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of time. But Shay cooks it. She's that guy for sure.
She keeps you fed good.
Yeah, and she knows like she got like my meal plan printed off and stuck to the side of the fridge, so she just makes my food for
So she keeps you online with it though.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't for her, I would struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really struggle.
Going from the college and part-time job to the full-time job's a big
Big
adjustment.
stretch.
Yeah.
Big stretch.
Especially when you're trying to be bodybuilding.
Right. I mean, it's hard for people just working, just the added stress of the gym and stuff makes it, a little bit more difficult. But I've been doing it for so long, it's kind of just
Getting used
like
to
part
it.
of my day, I guess, now.
Yeah. What's the bodybuilding community like? Is most everybody pretty supportive, or are they kind of cutthroat on, or is it just a mixture?
In my experience, it's getting a lot better. I think whenever I first was coming into bodybuilding, it's almost like you'd see bodybuilders in the gym, and they're like, their heads down, they're just pissed off at the world or something, and you're like, "Are you mad at me? Like, am I?" And that wasn't the whole community probably, but I felt like that was a lot more prevalent. Was like we're angry and and whatever.
It's like the me against the world mentality.
Metal music going on in
Yeah.
their ears, hardcore. Like, I'm like listening to like Taylor Swift sometimes.
Right.
I'm like, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you're here.
I'm enjoying it, man.
This is a great
Having
place
a good
to be.
time.
Just having fun with it.
Yeah, like there's absolutely zero reason to have a bad attitude,
Yeah.
and I think that's probably drove a lot of people away from it just because they kind of stigmatizes bodybuilders as jerks or
Just
something.
that, like, mean, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I feel like that's changing, though. Like
that is changing.
Yeah,
And that's
like
'cause,
today-
people like Chris Bumstead is like,
Right.
they're cool,
Like,
know.
and they're like,
Joey Swole.
like
Yeah.
joyful, like, hey, man, we're happy to be here to work out. Let's get to
And,
it.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
really-
and they want everybody else to do good.
Right.
too.
Right. Because I mean, honestly, it's just a privilege to be there.
Right.
Not everybody has the opportunity to do those things, and I mean, it's pretty. We can eat 6 times a day and work out and do our thing, and it's awesome. And we're in there, and I want to see other people do good too. I want anybody that's there that's competing. I want to do good.
Yeah.
And I feel like that didn't used to be a thing. I think it was like always like really isolationist about it.
Right.
But no, I think sometimes people just need like some encouragement and a little bit of positivity,
Right.
that really makes the environment a lot better. And I think it's going that way now. So.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
When you're at the show, what's that atmosphere like?
It's different than what you would think. I mean, it's pretty hyped up actually. When I done my very first show, me, my buddy Nick, and my buddy Dallas went to Memphis. I'd never been to a bodybuilding show, never watched one, didn't know really anything about it, other than that I was going to do it. And we got there, and it was, believe it or not, I mean, it was like they hadn't done it, I don't think, in Memphis in a while. It was like really rowdy, but all the people are just cool, just hanging out. There's not really a lot of craziness or anything, but it's just like a good environment, just an upbeat environment. And I've had my mom, my wife's grandma, who's pretty much like my grandma, and they all love it, And so it's different. I don't think it's what you would expect.
It's a pretty fun time.
So,
Yeah, especially if you're winning.
Oh yeah,
That makes
yeah.
it way better.
Are you
Yeah,
like,
that really hypes you up,
Yeah.
don't it?
like day of the show? Are you like lifting to get like a good pump in, or what? Like, how does
I
that
mean,
work?
you can kind of pump up backstage,
Yeah.
which is not as excessive as you'd think. I mean, you just like your body is in such a point to where your feet, like you've dieted for so long,
Yeah.
and you're trying to peak, so you're trying to cut back on water, get dry, but then you're also wanting to eat to fill your muscles out, so it's pushing up against the skin, so you look big and full.
Yeah.
And part of that is you get backstage, you pump up a little bit, but it's all it takes is some like bands,
Right.
some
That's
push-ups, and the
Great.
blood starts flowing really quickly.
okay.
So it doesn't take much. And then as you pose, you get more full too. So
Are you doing like a UFC style weight cut before the show to get that water drainage, to get that look?
no, I wouldn't say so.
Not that excessive, but you're doing a little bit of a weight cut. Right?
You're wanting to dry out for
Yeah.
sure. For me, I'm an open bodybuilding, so this last time I was actually kind of close to the weight cap for a heavy weight. So I mean, but we didn't really have to do nothing crazy. Now there's some guys that do like classic physique, that their weight cap will be like, I don't know, 220 or whatever, and they're like 224, and they have to get down there, and so that might be a little bit more like it. But for me, not really. It's not that hard. Like we don't have to go that hard at it.
Yeah, so you're not really cutting the weight per se. You're just cutting the water. You're just
Right.
drying out, like you
Just
said,
drying out.
and that kind of helps your muscles. Just,
It
it rips you more, don't it?
Detail
Yeah.
pops out. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, details you up a lot more
Yeah.
because you'll see that. I think I heard somebody say one time that's like anybody you see on a magazine cover or any kind of model or anybody like that, they're doing that before they get their
Yeah.
shots took because it makes you look great.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure people are using diuretics and stuff like that for those kind of things.
Yeah.
So what's with the What's with like the spray tan, man? Talk me through that, because
for some reason that is the most off-putting thing to people. I don't know,
bro. No,
everybody
for
always
me,
asks,
like, I mean, I don't care. But like, I see you, and I'm just like, dude, he is as pale as I am.
But
And I'm like, you know what I
I was
mean?
gonna say Hunter could probably use a spray tan.
Right.
Probably wouldn't hurt him.
I mean, like, wide as my socks.
Right,
You know,
that's
like,
what I'm
you can't even
saying.
tell the difference. Between,
Like, I know that guy. He is as white as I am, man.
It's just, I think, well, it's just to get everybody at the same. Because like, if somebody's like very white and somebody's very black, it's different. It looks different, you know.
So it just like
kind of brings everybody
physique.
together.
Okay,
and,
gotcha.
you know.
Because everybody does it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like it's very common.
Yeah.
Is there any reason to do it to put the focus more on your body? Because I feel like when you look at somebody when they've got the spray tan and not their face isn't spray tanned, it like it makes you pay attention to the body more.
Right. And I've had one like that one time where my face wasn't really sprayed that good, but it does make you look at the body more. But it also, people notice that.
Yeah.
Because before
I see that a lot.
I done
in
the
those
Night of
pictures.
Champions in 2021, and I got my first coat of tan, and my wife like posted a picture on her story or something of me, and I was just like standing there, and I had no tan on my face, and like 69 people was like hitting her up like, bro, what? and she was like, oh, he's gonna get more, you know. And that throws people off too.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty common to see. And when I see pictures of any bodybuilding show, like there's always somebody or multiple somebodies who their face is like a different shade from their body. Their body's like a lot darker.
Yeah.
That really hits the ADHD in me a little bit. Kind of throws me off, you know.
Are you getting the spray tan is that like the night before?
Yeah. So this past show was a little different. I got 3 coats. So like it was like the Friday before I competed, I went at like 4, and then at 7 got another coat, and then I came back in the morning at like 5. And the people that done it were really good. Like it was a very good tan. And it was, I don't know. Yeah, it was definitely the best tan I've ever had. So
is that just somebody set up at the show doing them for everybody?
Yeah, so they'll be set up in a room, and they'll have like all these dividers and stuff, and you're just standing there with like a little sock thing over you, you know, just getting sprayed down, dude. You know, the funny thing about that actually is the first show I did, they had like these paper like thong things. I hate to call stuff thongs. People call the trunks that I wear when I compete thongs, and it just drives me insane.
Right.
I just call it a Speedo.
You know? Yeah, Speedo.
I was thinking like tight trunks.
Trunk
spandex.
sounds a little
A little more manly,
little
don't
more, you know, not weird. But anyway, they had like the little paper ones, and they sprayed me, and it was weird. It left like a line and stuff, and so that was my first coat. So after that, for my second one, I just came out there nothing on, and just got sprayed like that. And I've done that for every one of my shows after that until this past one when they gave me like an actual sock thing.
Right.
Which I actually posted a picture on Instagram after like my show, and it was like I think the last picture of me just like hitting a pose in the living room of our Airbnb with just that on. But I wasn't thinking about it until after I did it. My wife's like, "You just posted that." And I was like, you know, I was like, "Oh, whatever." You know.
Whoops.
What did you think the first time when you were getting ready to do that first show and about wearing the Speedo? Did you have any feelings about that?
Not really. No, I took like 7 weeks out before I'd even had like any trunks or anything. I was like, man, it's gonna be weird. But I tried to get to where like I was like posting pictures of me hitting poses like as I was getting closer to kind of make me feel more comfortable in them. Mm-hmm. So like it's not like the very first time you see me, I'm just on a stage.
Like, oh gosh, you know.
I kind of mentally worked myself through that a little bit, but
kind of built your way into it.
Yeah, and so it wasn't really a thing.
How many more people were at the Dallas event than the Memphis event? Like, was it like
as far as crowd goes?
Yeah, like crowd. Like that environment in Dallas.
There was a lot more there, but it was a humongous room.
Yeah.
Memphis was not a big room, but it was packed. So like that.
Right.
Yeah, that helps with the atmosphere.
Makes it feel,
right.
Yeah, and they were loud out there. I remember, but
and if it's in a small space like that, amplifies it more.
Right.
That's what me and Hunter talk about with like the small basketball courts around here. Like you get a small gym.
Playing at Clark Range.
You're right.
Yeah, Clark Range is a small school,
Home
but
court
you
advantage.
pack it in there, it gets wild.
Yeah, but no, there was a significant amount of people more at Dallas for sure. But I mean, that's like I said, one of the biggest.
So
industry shows in the world.
is that what it's like that environment? Like, everybody comes up and like hits poses, correct? And then
Right.
like people are just like, yeah, like
Yeah,
crazy. I mean,
yeah.
is that how it works? Or what?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, you go out on a line and you all hit the same poses, and
Right.
people's like yelling and screaming, and yeah,
Sounds like a good time.
I know. That's what I was like.
It sounds pretty hyped up.
it's pretty lit, really. I mean, especially when you have a bunch there for you.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I've been just absolutely blessed.
Well, you
with
had
people that
a
come with me.
bunch of people the last time.
Yeah,
I don't even know how many. But
It started with me, Nick, and Dallas there in Memphis, just 3 of us.
Right.
And then it grew to 20-something people or so, and a bunch came to Dallas.
Yeah, you had a lot.
I'm not deserving at all of the support that I get from people. So, but yeah, that makes a big difference.
Is there any other shows around the country that you want to do?
So there's a show. So really, there's 3 that I care about right at this level, and that's Nationals in Dallas in December.
That's the main one, I guess, right?
There's 3 big.
They're all 3
pro
about the
qualifiers.
same.
The ones that I want to do.
Yeah.
So North Americans is in Pittsburgh. Same thing. You get your pro card there if you go to winter class. And then USA's in Las Vegas is a big one. If you win that one, you're Mr. USA, and I've always thought that sounded cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound cool.
But there's just like Nationals to me was always like the big one to do. Like some really big time people have won that one, and you're the national champion. But Mr. USA does sound cool, so you never know. I might do that one sometime, maybe.
Which I guess you can't be both of those, can you? Because if you win,
No, once you win one, you're
a pro then.
so you're done with that.
So
kind of stuff.
you're either going to be one or the other.
Right. So you never know. I might do that one, but I plan on being done with it after December.
So the goal is to go pro. What are you looking about when you go pro? What's the plan look like there? What's your goal after that?
I'm gonna probably need if I say I went pro in December, I'm gonna need the next calendar year just to improve, and then kind of see what that looks like for a 2027 pro show. Because then once you're doing pro shows, all you gotta do is win a pro show and you go to Mr. Olympia. So which is obviously what you want to do if you're a bodybuilder.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Those aspirations are cool, but it doesn't matter until you have the look to be there, So
Yeah.
taking the time off is necessary, I would say, for me. So
And this may be a stupid question, but you're trying to become a pro. What is that judge looking for to give you first place? Like what exactly? Because
Yeah,
I really don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
'Cause I kind of wondered that too. What really sets the people apart? I mean, you can look at everybody up there, looks good, and they look big. Is it how you do your poses that kind of set it apart?
Yeah, like what's
or
the difference?
is it just kind of who the judge is?
Like, what was the difference in you and the guy that got second place? Was it your character? Was it what
No,
does that play?
definitely-
Does that play anything? Does that play a
No.
part?
it's a presentation. So-
Right.
But what they're looking at is symmetry and size and conditioning. So when they're looking at you, the big thing in bodybuilding is you need to be muscular.
Right.
But you also need to be like shredded, especially at like a show like that for an amateur. So really what kept me from being better was my backside just got to be better, like my back and my hamstrings and stuff need to be better. And that was kind of the big, when you look at it, you can see it. I just need to be thicker, and that's just going to come with time,
Right.
and I'm working on it. But when they're judging a show, like there was just a show last week, Pittsburgh Pro, and the guy that won, in my opinion, should have won. But he had just a little bit better structure than the guy that he beat. But the guy that he beat was humongous and shredded. So you never know. Like the judges might be wanting somebody that's just peeled that day.
Right.
It's all subjective to what the judges
so
want.
you could have the same guys on the same day, and 3 different judging panels might have different people winning. I mean, and that's kind of the hard thing with this is the guy was Nick Walker who lost, and not any other day he would have won that, I would imagine, and he competes today, he'll probably win today. but you don't know what they're wanting, fully. Like everybody's gonna be a little different. You can come in shredded and you can have the best structure and all this stuff, but looking at it on stage, people are just gonna have different opinions.
Are the judges most of the time, are they former bodybuilders or bodybuilders? Or are they just
what are they?
Are they just random? Like, what's the judge's criteria to be a judge?
What's a judge look like physically?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
if I was up there and I looked like you, and I was up there and somebody looked like me or Hunter was judging me, I'd be like, "What's this idiot know?
Yeah.
Why is this?
Like,
Why is
no, get him off. Who's the next one?
I've never thought about this before, fellas.
this fool is judging me?" That's what I'd say.
Right.
This guy hadn't been to the gym in his life, and he's judging me. That's what I'd say.
Most, I mean, I don't know a lot of judges, but some of them have been bodybuilders. Other ones have just been within the sport for a long time, so they got the eye for what they're looking for.
Or like maybe former coaches. Trainers.
Right. People, I mean, most of the judges are pretty knowledgeable in what they're looking at, but at the end of the day, they're still human beings. They're gonna have preference.
Yeah, they're still biased in some way,
Yeah.
whether they know like it just subconsciously or not. I feel like everybody's going to be biased a little bit.
Yeah, and there's like the
towards
divide in the bodybuilding world of big and pretty, like physiques, like a little waist and the wide shoulders and just flaring legs and, just having a good X-frame, and the people that like just mass monster guys that are humongous, And there's always, I mean, it's always going to be that way.
Yeah, that's just the human nature of it.
Right, yeah. And so, I mean, so the best thing to do is just to be the best that you can be for what you have to work with,
Right.
Yeah.
We all have tools that we're given, so.
And try to hit all those points that they may be looking for.
Yeah, but the one thing you can always control really is how shredded you get, so.
Right.
Just get as peeled as possible,
Yep. Just stay dialed in.
Whenever you're at the show, do they take people out? Like, does everybody go up there like in a group lineup, and then you all go out one by one, or what's the structure of the show look like?
Yeah, it's a little different at nationals. At the Tennessee State show, it was just you go out in groups, you do your posing rounds, just a few different poses, and then they backed us up, and they called out the first call out, which is your best 5 or 6 or how many ever. But nationals was you came out in groups, and we had 2 groups of 8, so they walked us out. We done some mandatories, went off stage, come back on, stood on the sides. No, I'll take that back. We went out in groups, and then we came out singularly. And you do like 30 seconds, and it's like free posing. You just do like the poses that probably make you look the best or whatever.
Yeah, your favorite ones.
Yeah, and then you come back out in the line, and they call the first call out or whatever.
How often are you practicing your poses? Is that a big part of it too? Is how you're posing?
Yeah, that's something that I personally need to work on better. But it gets to be an everyday thing. Like you're like inside of 6 weeks, it's every day.
Well, that's
much.
part of
That's a big part of it.
That's how you win, I guess.
That's how you show off.
You want to
you
look
can
the
win
part,
and
but-
lose on that.
Right.
Like you could very much lose just because you don't know how to pose.
Do you think a lot of people overlook that? Or at that?
Yeah, you see that some. Like you'll see people that come up there and they've not respected how difficult it is to pose that much, because it gets hard to contain everything while you're like straining as hard as you can this way and then straining as hard as you can that way, and you're trying not to blow your stomach out, and you're trying to keep everything tight. And people, I don't think, understand that and how difficult that is, because you'll see people on stage a lot that's just like their belly's just, and they're shaking and stuff, and
That could be the difference between 10th place and first place.
absolutely can hurt you a lot. Yeah.
Complete change of subject, but see this water bottle sitting here. How much water do you drink a day?
I drink like 6 to 8 liters a day, probably. So 6 to 8 of those a day.
6 to 8 of those?
Yeah, that's just my second one, and it's like 11, 12, so I'm behind the bottle.
A little behind.
Yeah.
What water is that? What kind is that?
It's just from Sam's. You can get like a 18 pack for like pretty
It's like
cheap.
the Members Mark or whatever.
Yeah,
brand.
yeah.
I couldn't see the labels on the other side there. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, but I like to drink liters because I can tell what I'm drinking,
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a liter is essentially 2 bottles of water,
Right.
so.
Right.
Are you kind of on that, the liters and the grams, and you kind of go off of that more than
right? Instead of ounces.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought about it like that, but I guess so on a lot of stuff because I measure my rice and stuff in grams, and I measure my meats in grams. So yeah,
I guess that's just comes with bodybuilding being a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
Most people use that when
I
they're.
didn't even think about that until you just brought that up. I'm a USA guy all the way.
Yeah,
Then,
look at you,
I'm not trying to be that way at all.
USA guy, but he's over here using the.
Cut that. I don't think I'm about that kind of stuff.
This man is not patriotic over here.
Yikes.
What about the Alani? Do you usually hit some caffeine every morning?
Yeah, some. Not as much though as I used to. I mean, I'll have an energy drink or two a week and maybe some coffee.
Yeah.
I like coffee pretty good.
Black coffee?
Yeah, something like I don't like it, but I drink it. Like it tastes terrible.
Sometimes you feel like you need to.
You ever just drink like a black coffee and you're just like, that sucks. Well, you just keep drinking.
But you're just like, I'm gonna take another.
And then
sip.
you do it every day, for a while.
Yeah, there's something like you get on a black coffee kick. I feel like I do sometimes, and it's just like, yeah, this is a weird taste, but you keep wanting it.
Yeah, it's really not that good.
I don't get it at all. It definitely tastes bad.
Right.
Like it's
Well,
definitely
if you
a
drink
lot.
one of those. I mean, you're like, I don't want that.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a lot better to shoot it full of sugar and
Right.
put some coffee creamer in it and.
Yeah, like I'm going to 7 Brew and getting a hot blondie. If I
Right.
I'm talking about the drink. But
Hey, if you're watching.
yeah, definitely talking about coffee. It's called. But yeah, just normal black coffee. Is probably my other than like pre-workout. I'll have like some caffeine.
Right.
But other than that, black coffee is probably my majority of my caffeine during the week. So.
What's your pre-workout? Your protein. What do you recommend? Are you sponsored by anybody, or are you just like
Not sponsored. But Raw Nutrition's got a lot of good stuff that I
Raw
get.
Nutrition?
And I get like really not fixated, but if I'm doing something that works, I just hammer it for like ever.
Yeah.
Same flavor, everything.
Yeah.
So like recently though, White Line Labs, shout out to you guys, thanks. They've sent me some pre-workout that's really good. It's called Thundercat, and it's a little bit higher in stimulant, and I'm not used to that. So I take like half a scoop of it with the raw pump, and it's very good. That's what I like to do.
How much caffeine's in something like that?
That's like 350 milligrams or something.
You taking that like 30 minutes before you work out, or?
Yeah. Usually I'll have my pre-workout meal, shower off, and then mix it up, and drink it as I'm driving to the gym. And then I'll sit at the gym for just a few minutes and just kind of get submerged in the environment and let the rest of my day kind of go behind me,
And so you're working out, you said, of the evening, and you're taking that pre-workout. Does that not keep you up after the workout?
Brother, I don't sleep good anyway.
Well, you only sounds like you only get 6-7 hours of sleep, maybe.
If I absolutely execute my day perfectly, I can get 6.5 hours, which is not optimal for trying to gain muscle.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
But is it enough for you? Like, do you feel like you function well off of that amount of sleep?
Yeah, I do fine. If I get less than 5, I feel it pretty
Right.
bad. But really, if I can get 7 hours of sleep, like I'm doing really well, And I got this watch to start tracking it, but all it really did is showed me how terrible I sleep.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that because I wear this Garmin watch and tracks your sleep and stuff too. But
I know people with the Garmins and stuff, and they're like, "Man, I got like 3 hours of REM sleep, and my deep sleep is really good." And I look on there, it's like 14 minutes of deep sleep. Like I'm just gonna give an example really quick. I have no idea what this is gonna say because I've not looked, but last night I got 22 minutes of deep sleep, 45 of REM, which is actually very good for me. 38 minutes of awake time and 3 hours of core sleep. So 4 hours and 52 minutes.
How does it know that?
I don't know. And sometimes I think it could be like not good.
Yes, it's
not accurate.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that
know
too
the
sometimes.
time is pretty close, like the total, like 4 hours, 52 minutes.
Right.
I did go to bed kind of late last night. We was kind of just watching the storms as they was coming through.
Yeah.
And so that's probably close. But as far as the REM and all that, I don't know how it would know.
I guess it's, I don't know. We probably should look it up, but it's probably just got to have something to do with your your pulse, and
Your
your
pul-
you know,
Your heart
I think
rate.
this is supposed to be able to tell something about your oxygen too,
That's crazy.
your blood oxygen or something.
Yeah, I think those are actually really good.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
I'm not saying these are bad. The Apple Watches are bad or anything, but I think those are.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard
see,
that.
I had an Apple Watch, and then everybody was talking about the Garmin watches, and everybody was hyping them up. And I started looking into them, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Garmin and try it. And I've loved it. I got my wife one, and she watches her sleep score. She never sleeps good either. It never charges up good. But they give you like a on the Garmin, it gives you like a sleep score
Right.
out of 100, and it'll say your body battery, and it'll say like so like if you drain it all the way down, the lowest it goes is 5. And so say you had a long day and you drain it down to 5, and then it'll tell you in the morning, it'll say like you're back up to 70 or whatever. So it'll say based off your sleep, you charged up 65.
That's pretty cool.
But see, then
I'm gonna be redlining every day.
You're like the iPhone 20% red.
I'm gonna be like my wife's iPhone. It never gets over 20. Never.
yes, mine either.
They stay below 20. I don't even know how it works. It's impressive.
Yeah, right.
Because you call them, they always are answering it. But it's like I know you're on 3%.
The one thing though I think about some people I think get too caught up when they're wearing this watch and sleeping in it. They get too caught up in that score, and I feel like just say like on the Garmin, somebody their body battery charges up just to 50 and it usually goes to 70. I think mentally, if you look at that, it makes you think you're more tired anyway.
Right.
Even if you aren't, or whether you are or not, when you look at that, you're going to think you are.
I think that's a
Right.
good point, actually.
Right.
Because I mean, if you get up thinking you had a terrible night's sleep, you carry that about all day. I do.
Yeah.
So how do you improve? Like say you slept 8 hours, but it's telling you only got 30 minutes of deep sleep. Like, how do you improve that? How do you?
You become
Ambien or something? I don't know.
become a different person. Yeah.
I mean, right? Like, there's no way to improve
You take some edibles before you go to bed.
it. Right?
Yeah.
Is there some sort of supplement that like puts you in a deep sleep?
Oh, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out
You
there
can
for
get
people to
sleep
sleep.
supplements. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
Like melatonin.
Melatonin.
Stuff is usually pretty good, L-theanine. But for me, stuff like that works great. Like the first couple times.
Then you get used to it.
Yeah, and then it's like
Body
it doesn't really do a lot for me.
Right.
It's like you build up a little bit of a tolerance to it.
Yeah. So, which I don't know. I think if you caffeine intake close to bed is going to kill your sleep. First off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
think
kills
eating
me.
before you sleep too is hard because usually I'm eating right before I go to bed, and that makes it tougher. I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I think in a perfect world, if you get in bed not having had caffeine in the last 5 hours and not eating within the last 2 hours, I think you'd probably sleep a little better, not be like having the TV on and
Yeah, no
TikTok or
no
whatever.
screen time. Like if
Yeah.
you really want to do it right, you probably need no screen time for like at least an hour out, I would say.
Which now that we're talking about it, I break every one of those rules that I just made.
Yeah.
So like I'd literally do the opposite of that. That's probably why I don't sleep good.
What is that? It's
The
like-
TV's on for me.
Yeah.
I've just ate a lot, and
You had caffeine probably
right before I went to the gym at like 6 or 7,
Right.
and I'm just wide awake wondering why.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that. What is that? Like the 10-8-6-4-2 rule? Have y'all seen that?
No, I haven't.
No.
10 hours, no caffeine.
Oh, I have
8
heard of
hours
that.
before bed. I don't even know what that one is. 2 hours before bed, it's like no liquid. 1 hour before bed, no screens. Like they say, you do all those things and like you'll get the best.
Yeah,
Really?
I have seen that.
sleep. But
There's some guy, some doctor or something made that, didn't they? Somebody made
Yeah.
that, done like a
they say that's like the
Yeah.
healthy individual.
he like
you know.
studied it and he said this is what you
So,
need to do.
And like a lot of health, like these health guys you see on Instagram, they're big into like getting your workout in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may not have time because of your job, but like, what's your opinion on that? Like, why do you not do it because of work? Would you do it if you could? Like, what's your opinion on?
I wouldn't personally, and not because I think it's any more or less optimal. I've just been used to working out. Like I like to have at least 3 meals before I work out.
Okay.
Like I feel like I'm fueled well. I've got enough water.
See, when they're doing theirs, like their lift, like they haven't ate yet, right?
Yeah, and I'm like that. If you can do that, more power to you, buddy.
But
I cannot.
yeah,
Like I feel if I've got 4 liters of water, 3 meals, like everything goes really well, and I feel good.
And are they taking pre-workout? Like those guys that say workout in the morning?
I mean,
I'm
I would
sure
hope so. I
yeah,
mean,
I'm sure
that or cocaine or something. I mean, if
so they're
if
hitting
it's in the
pre-workout,
morning,
no
I can.
food. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty psycho stuff. I mean, I don't really know. But I mean, everybody's got their preference on their workout times. I mean, some people really like to work out in the mornings. You know, I just don't.
I don't think it makes you any better of a person. Or
I like
No.
I like to work out in the morning just because I feel like it sets the tone for the whole day.
It does wake you up. Like if I do something in the morning, go for a
That's
run or
absolutely
something,
true.
you will feel good
Right.
for the rest of the day. Like you're like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm ready for the day. I will agree with that.
Like if you get up at 3:00 in the morning and you get around, you have your coffee or your energy drink or whatever, and then you head to the gym. You get to the gym at 4:00 in the morning, and if you work out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you get back home and it's 6:30, and you're like, man, I've already had a day right now.
right.
You know, like it feels good.
And like the day definitely couldn't suck any more than working out at 4
Yeah.
in the morning. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
it's like, well,
It's going.
only up from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day.
But no, I agree. You are more energized if you do that. Like whenever I have to do cardio in the mornings before I go to work, if I woke up at 4:15 tomorrow, I would be like a zombie.
Yeah,
For
and
real. Like, and it would take a fairly significant amount of time for me to be in any kind of social mood or any kind of mood. But if I get up and do 30 or 45 minutes of cardio, have my water, by the time I'm done, I'm awake and ready. Like everything's good. And I think that is a benefit of doing morning exercise of any kind.
But I feel like you get the same. Like if I work out at 3:00 in the morning, you work out at 3:00 in the afternoon. We're getting the same thing out of it.
Yeah. We're
yeah, if you're doing the same workout,
Like if we're doing the same stuff, like we're getting the same thing. Like nobody,
I agree.
I'm not getting anything more.
it's really just about the consistency. It doesn't matter what time you do it.
Right.
Just stay consistent with doing it.
And
Then.
well, the thing is, some of those guys are like, no, you need to be doing it in the morning. You know?
Yeah, it's probably always a good rule of thumb that if somebody's giving you like a hard stance like that, they're probably not
Don't listen.
listen to it that much.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like there's a lot of different ways to do this, but you're right. Consistency is the driver of every bit of it. You know, because if you're just solely working on like motivation, you're hardly ever motivated, right? I mean, there's a lot of times you go into the gym, you're not really wanting to be there. But consistency and like consistent action is what just pushes right through all that stuff. So I think regardless of the time or what you're doing, as long as you're consistent with it, I think that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, the main thing is just showing up.
Right.
You got to show up. If you don't show up, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah. And there's so many people that do the whole like they get after it hard on like Monday and Tuesday. I swear, you go to any gym in Cookeville, Monday and Tuesday they're packed, but it's like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're like, where does people just work out on Monday and Tuesday? You know, I don't know if they go out on Saturday or whatever, and they think they need to get their stuff together, and then Monday they're in, and Tuesday they're in, and then they're like, after that,
Well, and like that wouldn't be bad if they would do like 3 days a week.
Yeah.
But like consistently, I mean, it'd be better than nothing.
Right.
But I can
Yeah, I
see
feel
that.
like if you're working out 3 days a week, though, I don't know, maybe it's different from some people, but I just feel like you should spread that out. Like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, spread it out throughout the week.
Yeah.
And then you got like your college kids. I always remember this. September, you come back to Tech, and you go into the fit, which I didn't ever work out. I'd go play ball.
Yeah.
But I'd go walk into the gym. I'd look. That place would be packed, man. It's like September 1st, first day of class, and it's just full all day. About the middle of September, half of those people, your Masons, are the ones that are still there.
Well, that's just like people at the commercial gyms at the start of the year.
Yeah,
In January.
New Year's
they-
resolutioners are a thing.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that's like a meme, but that is a
No, that's
problem.
legit,
for
ain't it?
sure thing.
But I will say this though, over the past couple of years, that just distinct difference between January 1st and February 1st is not as apparent. There's a lot of people in the gym.
Right.
It used whenever I first started working out, it wasn't as cool yet. Like I think social media kind of made it cool in a way.
Well, health is like becoming cool.
Yeah, like
it-
that's a cool thing.
Like think about the Nelk Boys.
Yeah.
Think about those guys. They were party, drink all the stuff, and pull pranks on people. Now they're like, hey, we're like businessmen. We take care of our health. We have one party night a week, but and we're shredded now. And people like respond to that. Like they're like, yeah, I like. They're
becoming
influencing
like a
it
thing
for sure.
And
for
so
sure.
like, I think in general people are kind of in the gym more, but still yet I think there's probably some room to improve on a lot of the day to day like middle aged people that are just in there on Monday and Tuesday doing arms.
Right.
know?
So what about? Do you know who Gary Brecka is?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you like?
I don't know. My brother talks about him a lot.
Okay, I really
not-
like him. Like I try to do some of the stuff he says, but like I don't know, I just don't have time or whatever. I
Right.
just make excuses, I guess. But like the breath work, the cold plunge, the sauna. Like, do you do any of that stuff?
No, I know cold plunges have turned into like a thing.
The cold plunge is apparently is the greatest thing in the world right now.
But I
did buy one. I have one.
Well, we had a Kim Stewart from the New Horizon. He does it every day.
Yeah,
he
3
swears
minutes a day?
by it.
3 minutes a day. Is that what he said?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Joe Rogan, he says like 3
Yeah.
minutes a day.
I am way too big of a sissy to do that.
Right.
Like
That's like
I don't like
up
being
here.
cold. So if I'm sitting it, like I don't want to do that at all. Like
Yeah.
I lost a ping pong game to my little brother like 3 years ago, and I still owe him an ice bath, and I'm not paying that forward anytime soon. Because that'd be terrible. Which I totally understand the positive effects.
Yeah.
Of it. And
But like
That's
you
awesome.
got a hot tub right here at your
Golly.
gym, and then you got
Yeah.
the cold plunge. You're like, I'm just gonna get in the hot tub.
yeah, yeah. Like let's. Yeah.
What about sauna? Do you ever utilize sauna?
No, not anymore. I used to have one at my house.
I've got a little
in
tent sauna
Jamestown.
at the house, dude.
And
It's
it's
nice.
it's nice.
Yeah.
But no, I've not really utilized anything like that. They have them at Workout Anytime Gym though. Some infrared ones supposed to be really good for like
The infrared.
cardiovascular health or something.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've got one of the little tent ones like you're talking
Right.
about, and like I seen on Amazon or something. There's an attachment that I can put in it, and it's just a red light that just shines
Really?
on you, and they say it's good.
supposed
for
to be
you.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Good for your skin, good for your heart.
Did you add a ice bath and saunas to the Sunbright?
Well, I bought like, so I have the little tent sauna, and then I bought a cold plunge. I just haven't filled it up yet. I'm gonna test it out, and if it's like legit, then I'm gonna buy one for the school. You know what we do right now? We have 2 feed troughs, like cattle feed
Yeah.
troughs.
Just ice
Filling
them
things
down.
up with ice. That's
Yeah.
what we did at Maryville, so that's where I got the idea. So I just put that trough right there, and we had a farmer that just donated. It was
Do your boys get in it? Do they?
they did last year. They did a couple times, and then this year, like I'm gonna push hard, because like I've noticed a difference. Like right there at the beginning of school, whenever we start conditioning and lifting, it's hot outside. We do all of our conditioning outside, so jumping in that thing right afterwards is nice.
You a
Keeps
hardcore conditioner?
Love.
You wear those kids
I
out?
love it, dude. like whenever you were playing and your coach is just sitting there, come on, Mason, you gotta be going harder than that.
Yeah.
Whenever you're the coach, you're like, damn, this is nice.
Hunter gets a kick out of that.
Yeah, you're yelling at that
Yeah.
one kid who's just not giving it all he's got. He's got more in him, and you're just like, man, this is nice. This is much better
I'd say
being
so,
on this
'cause being
side.
on the other side of
You're
that,
right.
terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, condition's always the worst.
They're
But you
looking-
got to do it.
Yeah.
They're
Gotta-
looking at Hunter like, piss on you, coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
You
do.
get out here and do it yourself.
As soon as it's over, I usually always Snapchat them. They're like laid out on the ground or leaned up against the fence. But I mean, that's the hardest part of the year is conditioning.
Right.
And you got to go through it. So
Are there some guys in bodybuilding, I would assume, that don't really do any cardio? I mean, because you were talking about doing your cardio.
Yeah, there are. There are. But I think sometimes people won't do it when they probably should. Like they'll be lean enough to them, or they'll be bragging about it, or even some people be bragging about being able to eat cereal for their post-workout or whatever, but they're not quite where they could be, So I'm a big proponent in thinking that it's important to do, but there are people that don't do it for sure. Yeah.
You're talking about the cereal there. That kind of made me think, what's your favorite food, like not like chicken or like a whole food or like an ingredient like that? What's your favorite food to buy? Like, I mean, I get like those Quest protein chips and got the Ratio protein yogurts. What do you have, like something like that you really like?
I really don't eat nothing like that at the moment just because I'm so full from eating my normal food. But I personally like brown rice pasta, and I like to make it with like vodka sauce and beef. Like that's like the one thing that I really like to eat.
That's like one of your go-tos right there.
That's like if I have something like I can make that's going to be not on my plan and eat it, it's that, because you can eat so much carbs like that. Like you can get 120 grams of carbs like nothing like that.
So if you're going out to a party or something, say it's, I don't know, just say like a Christmas party and you're going there, or a birthday party, are you just eating before you go, or are you? How are you managing that?
It really depends. I mean, if I'm in prep, I'm bringing food for sure. Like I've just got it with me.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to do. Like that goes back to like the discipline thing. I mean, things come up. People have cookouts.
Right.
Like, your buddy's like, hey, come over. We're making hamburgers and hot dogs and beer.
Yeah,
And you're like,
we're having a birthday party over here. Come
and
eat
there's
a piece of cake. Or
Yeah.
something.
And you're just like, dude, I can't do that.
And I used to be bad. Like I just wouldn't do anything. Like I just wouldn't go.
Right.
But I've been getting better about going and doing that kind of stuff with people just because there's no reason to miss out on that. But
Right.
I mean, I went to some of my friends have a Halloween party every year, and we went last year, and I was like 8 weeks out, and everybody was just there was so much good looking food, and everybody was just having a great time. They were all like, not all of them, but most of them were like pissed drunk and just enjoying life, And I had like chicken and rice and asparagus just eating, and it didn't faze me in the least. That's just kind of part of it. But that's how I usually go about doing that. Is I just always have. If I'm going somewhere, I've always got food, just because.
And just like drinking water.
Yeah,
Drinking
for sure.
water.
Really, when I'm in prep, that's about all
you drink.
Is water. Yeah.
What is normally what you drink? Like, do you drink milk?
No.
No milk?
No. I mean, nothing against drinking milk.
I was about to say you got a problem with milk.
No, I really sounded like I didn't like milk, but I just drink water. Really,
drink water.
and if I have an occasional energy drink or coffee or whatever. But
What's your like your supplements look like? Like you're taking creatine, I assume, and some stuff like that.
yeah, I take 5 grams of creatine a day.
Any specific brand on that? Raw?
No,
All that creatine's the same.
yeah, monohydrate. I mean, I try to
Monohydrate.
get best bang for my buck on stuff like that. You can get an All Max is the brand. It's like a blue tub, and Nutrition Factory and Cookville carries it. You get like 200 servings for like $50 or something like that.
Yeah, there's no sense. Anybody out there who's listening, there's no sense in paying the premium for Jocko's creatine or something. I mean, it's the same stuff.
You'll have 30 servings of creatine from some brands, 30 servings of 5 grams of monohydrate for like $30 or $40, you know, where you can get easily 50 cents a serving on most other brands, you know. I mean, and really the All Max is $50 for 200, so that's 25 cents a serving. So
Yeah,
The creatine side is not as important as like maybe the protein.
No, some of that stuff is just that's what it is.
Right.
Like creatine is just creatine.
That's all it is. Yeah.
I mean, and you can buy like those creatine gummies or like a pill or something that's got other stuff mixed in with it.
Right.
But if you're just taking pure creatine, it's just creatine, and you're just paying for the marketing if you're buying it from some bigger company.
And the more you do it, the more you want to be simple about it. You know?
Right.
Like a lot of people like do the gummies right now and stuff, but as you just kind of get into it, it's like 5 grams in a scoop with my pre-workout, and that's it. And it's every day, and it's easy to do, and it's cheap.
So does it matter what time of day you drink that, your creatine?
No, but I think as long as you're consistent with your intake is the big thing for that.
So what about, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think that 5 grams is that a good number? Just 5 grams a day?
I think so. And
Some say you can take 10.
Yeah.
Some people
that do take 10.
I heard Rory McIlroy talking on something to Scotty Scheffler or something, and he said he takes 20 or 25.
Well, is he on an overload? Some people do like a creatine
that.
overload.
Some people do that to start.
Yeah, some people front load it with a lot, but there's not really any need for that.
I don't think it's proven.
Yeah, I think you're just kind of wasting money.
I mean, Rory McIlroy's not exactly
Jack.
Yeah,
huge.
That's what I don't
And
get.
he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, he's also
one of the best
man.
golfers in the
man,
world.
But,
and he don't care if he's saving money. He's probably buying Jocko's shit out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a billionaire.
He's paying $5 a scoop. He don't give a shit about it. But that's what he said, and I thought that was just like
that. There is
crazy,
like an old way of looking at it, where people would take like a lot of creatine like the first week or something.
Yeah, I've heard that before too. You front load it like you said, and then because it gets it in your system, and then you drop it down to the 5 for forever. You can take it forever.
Do you recommend taking like creatine if you say you were kind of active and like you got some cardio in maybe a little bit every day? Should you take creatine?
Sure. I mean, I think there's been fairly substantial evidence that it improves cognitive.
Creatine
I've
is
heard
like
it's just like overall really good for you.
I'm pretty sure Connor Apple, who we had on the
that's why I was
the very
asking,
first
because he said,
shout out Apple Fitness. I got their shirt on now, but Connor, he said he said he'd put creatine in the Cookeville water supply if he could. Because creatine,
A lot of people say that too.
it's one of the most studied supplements out there. Like, it's been around for so long, and it's proven to help all this stuff. Like, everybody should take creatine. Probably, unless like you hear the commercial saying, unless you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant.
Right.
But besides that, anybody can take creatine. Creatine is
And the biggest
good.
factor is just like you got to drink a lot of water with it,
Right.
and that's something like you have to hit. Like you have to
You need to drink your water with creatine
because it'll make you feel weird, make you.
I don't know. I don't know
if
a
it'd make
lot
you feel
about.
weird.
I don't know a lot about the kidney effects.
Well, because you
on
drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
So you
I
don't.
just- like, I'm no like professional scientist guy or whatever you want to say, but I think there could be some adverse kidney effects if you don't drink proper amounts of water.
What about like vitamins? You take any vitamins?
Yeah, I take a multivitamin from it's a Vitapack from Revive MD, which is a supplement company, and they're very good. Same people that have Raw Nutrition.
Sweet.
And also I take from White Line Labs. They sent to me this week heart and organ support for while I'm pushing it. So
Sweet. So we got creatine, vitamins.
So is that vitamin that you're taking, is that like a pill type vitamin, or is that a mix?
the multivitamin thing's it's
Like a drink
a
mix?
pack of multiple pills.
Okay.
So it has like a fish oil in it and all that, and a multivitamin. And
So you don't take
the
any like
pack.
you don't take like a vitamin drink, like mix it in a drink like some things do. You take any vitamins, Hunter?
I take just like a men's multivitamin. I mean, what do you think of those? Like, is it pretty solid?
No, I think they're
They're all like the same. I look at them and it's like, hey, it's got this, and this,
Right.
and it's
Yeah, I'm taking one. The one I've been taking is it's a scoop. You drink it, you scoop it into water. I got it from what is it, NutriShop in Cookeville though. Yeah, I got it from them. They were like letting you try samples of it one day, and I tried it. I was like, it's pretty good stuff. And so I've been buying it and taking it.
I think there could be an argument for there to be better absorption that way.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know. I mean, I could see where you could argue it. I don't know. I guess it's not really been studied enough to be proven.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Let's take a piss break real quick.
Oh my gosh! Breaking news: Grant, take us a piss break before me.
All right, we're back into it here.
Just want to make it known again. Grant called for the pee break before me, so
Yeah,
it's usually
first
me.
time ever.
It's usually
I
always
could
me.
have called for it because
Yeah.
I was about to pee in my pants.
I'm right.
I didn't want to do that.
I'm right at that 1 hour.
I was surprised Hunter made it that long because we've been going an hour and 17 now.
I look at Grant and I'm just like, dude, like it's time, and he's like, oh my god, all right.
Hunter, I've said this before on here. Of course, I know nobody probably likes us talking about her pissing, but Hunter pisses. I guarantee he pisses 24 times a day. He pisses every hour on the hour.
I mean, I don't know. From a health point of view, is that okay? 'Cause
No,
it's true.
no, that's not. We need to get a doctor on here, or a urologist on here, because that's not
I do
good.
drink a lot of water, but like I haven't really hit. Like you said, you're kind of behind. Like,
I am behind.
I'm not. Yeah, I've only drank like a bottle of water this morning, and I'm usually at this point of the day, I'm 3 bottles of water in. So
Yeah, I knew that. That's something
maybe
I
that's why.
struggle with. I think a lot of people struggle with is drinking enough water.
Yeah, well, if you're not thinking about it, it's easy to go a long period of time without drinking water.
Yeah.
It also depends like your job too. When I was teaching PE, I was up moving around like crazy. Now I'm kind of more like sitting down, and then I'll get up and walk down here and come right back. But like I just forget about my water.
Right.
So I'm like chugging water all day. But yeah, I try to drink a lot of water. And once you do it, like you get away from pop and everything else. I feel like I don't want anything but water.
I haven't drunk a soda in, I can't remember.
Yeah, I
like
ain't
an
had
actual
one in,
soda.
I mean, 2 years.
I mean, the girls
really-
might have a Sprite or something, and I might take a sip of their Sprite or something, but
What about you?
My wife gets like Dr. Pepper Zeros, and sometimes I'll have I've not drunk a whole can of soda
Right.
since I was like probably like
But you'll get you a little
16 or something.
little
But
swig of it.
yeah, like it's really low hanging fruit when I'm like walking by. I'm like, that'd be good.
I will say,
you're
though,
like, it does say zero, so it's okay.
Yeah.
like those Dr. Peppers and like the Coke Zeros. Maybe, I mean, it's been 2 years since I've had a full one, but like I will have a sip of those. Like Savannah likes those Coke Zeros sometimes.
Yeah.
They taste pretty good. I mean,
In my opinion, dude,
they're better than
tastes
Coke.
the exact same. I mean, I've
Right,
not had
yeah.
an actual Coke though in a long time.
I know,
don't really
but I do. I think it tastes pretty good.
See, I can't even really drink sodas anymore, even if I take a sip of something besides like a Sprite. If I took a sip of, like, really likes the Dr. Pepper sometimes. If I take a sip of a Dr. Pepper, just a sip of it, I get the hiccups
Really?
bad. It makes me get any kind of those kind of carbonated sodas like that. I don't know. It's just where I don't drink them, and I haven't drunk them much in a long time. I get the hiccups every time I drink one.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard of that.
Certainly
Like
would
every time I
agree
take a drink of one.
But I just don't like have a craving for it. Like you may be like, I don't
Yeah.
want them because like if they're bad for you,
No,
but they
I don't-
also give me the hiccups.
Yeah, I just don't like them.
I don't. Yeah, I
anymore.
just don't have any craving.
Yeah,
for
I
'em.
don't really think about them either.
But when you're in high school, man, like I don't know about y'all, but like we drank a lot of
Mountain Dews,
Mountain
man, was,
Dews,
like,
and
epic.
And like my boys, which I've talked about this plenty of times, but like I had to get them off because they would drink them before practice. Like high school kids, we do concessions on Friday. They always want like Dr. Pepper, and if you look on them, like Dr. Pepper, one can, it's like 70 grams of sugar.
Yeah, which is
One
a
little
lot,
can,
you know?
and that's like 80% of your daily value is what
Oh,
it says.
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that is horrible. And they'll
Yeah.
like, give me 2 of them.
I remember those days though when you're young and like you're just powered by like a Coke and
Right.
some, like chicken nuggets or something, and you're just hammering down. Like I wouldn't be able to do anything,
Right.
The craziest thing about high school and elementary school too is you go in there to the lunchroom and you get your chicken strips or whatever, and then they give you milk. They give
Yeah.
you milk. Like you're in there drinking milk. Why
Yeah.
why are we in there drinking milk?
Yeah, dude.
Like looking back on it, that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like those where they're like they would really give you a slice of pizza and a chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Like, that's-
Yeah, you have your pizza with your ranch
dude,
on it, and then you
hey,
have chocolate milk.
It's the same. Like there's some days like I try to do some meal prep or something, just something clean for the week. But like this past week I haven't because they were feeding us. Well, one day they didn't feed us lunch, so I went down to the lunchroom and like it's what it is, man. They offer you pizza and then it's like some sort of meal. It's horrible.
Yeah. Oh,
Horrible, dude.
yeah, we need
Horrible.
to. That needs to be.
It does
corrected a little bit.
I'm hoping Bobby Kennedy maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
should
gets
we
in there and
pull
does-
something out for us a little
Yeah,
bit.
because I mean it really is bad, and like our kids, like they hate the food so much, but they always have pizza. That's always like an option
Right.
too, and they always get pizza, and it drives me crazy because like they'll just eat pizza and a chocolate milk, and I'm like, man,
Like that's your everyday
That's-
lunch meal.
yes. Like,
pizza
where's your
and
protein
chocolate
coming
milk.
from,
It's
boys?
Terrible.
Yeah.
come down there and they're like hiding their food.
The psycho thing about that is too is like maybe like 11:30 and you're having pizza and chocolate milk, and then 1:30 your fourth block starts and it's football practice. time.
Yeah, and you're
And,
going
like,
hard.
If
Like,
I
that's
tried
your
to do
fuel.
that right now,
Yeah.
golly, I would be in serious trouble.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
like it's crazy how dynamic you are as a youngling. I guess.
yeah. You can
know?
just really just
Yeah, you can adapt to
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you would think. I mean, I don't know. There's probably a lot more to it than meets the eye, but you would think you would have stuff that kind of gears people towards healthier eating whenever you're in a setting like that. Because it's a school, like they're teaching you all this stuff.
right.
Why not just teach me what to eat
Health.
to not?
Oh,
have
we've
a
been in-
terrible body.
We've been into that a bunch about which on the physical fitness of the high school kids and the younger kids. It's just not. I feel like it's not important to the
No,
in the school system anymore, because
No,
we
it's
talk
not.
about like when we were in school, we used to have PE every day,
Right.
And now they have it like once a day, or if you're in high school, you don't even have it.
You take one class in 4 years.
Yeah,
yeah. Somehow I got into taking PE and Lifetime Fitness, and I had a lot of that stuff whenever I was in high school because it was like I like doing it.
Right.
But I think now kids don't even like want to participate like in stuff
Yeah.
in PE. And that was like the highlight of the day when
Yeah.
I was in school. Like
It is. It's a big thing.
PE
I
was
waited-
a big deal to me.
I waited all week in elementary school for Fridays to play dodgeball in
Oh,
PE.
yeah.
Like that
yeah.
was like you weren't going to miss school on Friday because you're playing
Play
dodgeball.
And you're probably gonna get some recess that day too.
oh
Friday,
yeah,
you
maybe
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
And
it's definitely a different mindset now. When they offer recess, it's just like the kids will just go like walk, or they'll go sit down on the bench. Something, there's all the kids that play.
I thought that was so crazy. I drove by South Ventress the other day, and they were out there on recess, and they were a few kids playing basketball, but the rest of them were walking that loop, or I bet I saw probably like groups of 4 or 5 little cliques, friends or whatever. I probably saw 10 different groups just sitting around, like just sitting there
Right.
talking to each
just
other.
like in a circle, just
Yeah,
talking.
just sitting there in a
Yeah.
circle all over the field there.
Yeah,
I think the evolution of like the way we socialize online and stuff has kind of made people a
that's
little
big.
weird
Yeah.
interacting.
I agree.
And we kind of had that but I guess we
got to
already really
experience-
developed.
We got to experience life when we had no technology really.
Right.
Then we got to experience like the beginning of it,
Right.
and then now we're like older and we get to experience what it's like now. So I think we're like a unique
Yeah,
generation.
people
We are.
People talk about the generations and talk about like 1997, which I was born in 97. You
98 January 98.
98, and you were
98, yeah.
98.
Yeah.
So that 97, 98 range, our range there, I feel like I've always said that it's like its own generation. Like we're not millennial or
Right.
not whatever.
Gen Z,
Gen X or
yeah,
Gen Z
whatever.
or whatever. Any of the generations. We're not. I feel like we don't associate
Yeah.
with. We're like our own years, like that 97 through probably 96 through maybe 98 probably.
99, yeah.
99 is kind of
Yeah.
getting there, but I feel like you all said, we experienced a little bit of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember dial-up internet.
And like
having dial-up
wanna,
internet.
They want to exactly, and they want to categorize us as like 98 with like the Gen whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
Gen
like,
Z,
I'm like,
I guess
I'm like,
that is.
no, man, like those kids are like addicted to their phones, and that's
Right.
all they've ever known.
They're eating Tide
Right.
Pods and shit.
Right,
They don't
like
eat
we
no
weren't
Tide
doing
Pods.
that. We weren't doing
Yeah.
that.
We when I was a kid, we played outside a lot. You know,
Yeah.
that was like,
Right.
which I was kind of forced to a lot, but we played outside a lot. I mean, but there was we still had like an Xbox 360, which was also
Yeah.
pretty awesome back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
it
could-
wasn't like there was we wasn't stuck in that.
That was
like
kind of
we are
like
now,
a
you know?
yeah. We'll do that when we're done playing
Yeah.
outside. Like
Yeah,
our
'cause-
first priority was being outside.
That's like something you've done at night before after you ate supper and you was getting ready. You know, you had a little downtime
That
before,
was the Mountain Dews, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
7 at night,
Yeah.
Call of Duty's on.
There you go.
kind of
Or-
Nighttime activity.
or your buddies come over and you're like, well, let's go play some 2K.
Right.
And I think there was just a lot of value in whenever it was brought outside, you're out there doing stuff. You know, you learning stuff, being active, and that, like, you know, it's not really a thing. And that's why I think we have a lot of people that are obese.
Yeah, a lot of people now, and I think it really starts when the kids are young, about just people who let the TV or the tablet or whatever be the babysitter.
Yeah.
And they don't make their kids go. It's like my kids, they like their iPad, and all kids do, but we've tried to get it where we just let them, if they're going to watch videos or something, they do it while we're making supper. They'll get that,
Right.
that 30, 45 minutes while we're making supper, and they can do that, and everybody's calm then, and we can make our supper, and then everybody sits down at the table and eats together. But they want to be outside.
Well, y'all are good about, like, I don't know if you know this, but I live right across the street. So, but like they're always walking. Like Brandon's always walking. The kids are like walking around.
Yeah, and we've got the kids so used to that they want to go on a walk
Right.
after we eat.
Right.
They want to go on a walk, and which it's good for anybody to walk, 10 minutes after every meal or something.
Right.
And so they want to do that. And just like I guess it's yesterday or the day before, my youngest girl, Allie, she's 2. She come in there, and we've got their water slide. We've had it set up for like 3 or 4 days, and she come up here at 6 o'clock in the morning wanting to go get on that water slide.
Ready to get
It's like
outside?
cloudy and stuff too. And
That's
great.
she said it was cloudy outside, and she said, "Daddy, it's sunny out. I'm ready to go get on the slide." And I was like, "Baby, we're gonna wait a little bit." I was like, I ain't going out there.
sleep another
I
hour
remember
or
stuff
I
like
ain't
that.
going out there at 6 a.m. You run on the water slide, but it's a good time though. But I
guys,
guess
I hate to be that guy, but I've got seniors graduating in an hour, and I got to go. So
yeah, Hunter's gonna be wrapping it up. So let's
Mason,
let's
go
go ahead and let's go ahead and just ask Mason here. This is something we usually ask everybody, and we kind of always end on it too. I feel like.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody who's wanting to get into bodybuilding? What would be your best piece of advice for them?
I would say don't get caught up in the complexities of Instagram. I would say consistency with your diet and training is going to carry you further than any of this scientific, technical stuff that's out now. I think whenever you're training, if you're giving everything you've got every single time you lift, that is going to help you a lot more than worrying about all this other stupid stuff like fatigue and all that. Just train hard, and if you love doing it, just let that passion drive you rather than people online that really don't look that good anyway. And also, don't measure yourself with the people you see online too, because it's not what it's about really. It's about those before and afters of you, because that's all you're trying to do, right? So I would just say there's a video I saw on Instagram, and this guy says we only have a finite amount of time on this planet, so you can choose to be viciously mediocre, or you can get the fuck after it. So I would say that's probably how I would sum up how I feel about this.
I like
That's
that.
that's a good thing to live by right there.
Yeah,
That's right.
I like it.
I like that, and it's kind of like you said. You're just trying to better yourself. It's just like playing golf or something. You can't defend the other guy.
Right.
You can't worry about what the other guy's doing. You just got to do the best that you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all this is. Bodybuilding is so internal and individual, and you just got to overcome that. Whenever you do it, you just drive your progress.
It becomes a habit.
Yep.
Just like, yep.
Real quick, who's your favorite Instagram influencers out there in the bodybuilding space? Who do you like to watch on there?
I don't like Instagram influencers. No, Chris Bumstead is the man.
C-Bum.
I love Chris Bumstead.
Yeah.
I think
Like, I don't know much about the sport or whatever, but like I do know him.
Yeah, I feel like everybody knows him.
Everybody knows
that guy.
C-Bum.
Even if
For
you
a
don't know
reason.
the sport, everybody knows him.
Yes.
I absolutely love Chris Bumstead. Best of all time, in my opinion. Has drove the sport further than anybody other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. So,
What about like Bradley Martin?
I don't know
The
much
guy,
about him.
he's like on the full
He's a
spin
big
guys.
guy. Yeah, I saw him
he's
on
like
some stuff.
jacked.
I don't.
He's
know.
kind of an idiot, ain't he?
Well, he's like
I mean, I don't know for sure, but ain't he the guy who says he can like beat up any UFC fighter?
Yeah,
Right,
I saw
yeah.
the clips of him like
Yeah.
talking to Nate Diaz.
But I think that's content.
And
yes.
he was like talking to Nate Diaz, and Nate was like, "I would beat you in a street fight." And he was like, "Ha ha ha, I love it." And you're like, "Yeah, he'd kill you." Like, I don't know what's so funny. He would actually kill you. you know?
Right.
Yeah, I would like to, and maybe he's just going like the Jake Paul route. He's trying to get a big high money celebrity fight against somebody.
Which,
or
as it
something.
turns out, Jake Paul can box a little bit.
Hey, he can.
Hey,
He
Jake
can.
Paul has proved
And he's got
himself.
he's got a mindset like no other dude.
Yeah,
Like he's.
yeah, he
To be an unlikable
respect
guy,
him.
you got to respect.
I
it.
respect him. I do.
Yeah, I do.
I do.
You know, you got to.
He's putting in the work.
All right, boys.
well,
I gotta go.
Hunter,
Sorry.
peace and love, buddy.
I appreciate you coming on,
Talk to
Mason.
you, brother.
get out of here, Hunter. I'll wrap it up here.
Oh, you gonna
Or
wrap
just,
it up?
Yeah, just hang on just a second. We'll wrap it up.
I gotta go, man. I'm 35 minutes from this place. All right, see you guys.
See you, buddy. Be good.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Mason.
Of course, sir. See you.
And
I'll hire you.
see ya. Yeah, we'll definitely try to have you on again sometime. And,
Anytime, buddy. I can go as long as you want.
I was gonna say sometime maybe when Hunter's got a little bit longer to talk or something.
Fine with me.
But yeah, we'll definitely have you back, and hope you enjoyed it. And
Oh, loved it. This is a great environment in here. We're just kind of just chilling and talking. I could
Yeah.
talk all day.
and we've enjoyed having you on. And go ahead and you can shout out your Instagrams or whatever.
My Instagram's at Mason Cravens. So yeah, I don't post as much as I probably should if I'm wanting to do this that way, but I will say this. If I'm gonna have a lot of followers on Instagram, I don't want it to be because I'm making tacky content.
Yeah,
I want it to be because like I'm that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And so if I'm that one day, great. If not, great. You know. So
yeah. You want to be you want to follow you because you're legit,
yeah, that's right.
not because you're making content that people are making to go viral.
Right.
Like they're out there just trying to do that.
And I hate to go on the social media rant, and I've tried to keep from it while we've been over here, but
No, that's our go on it. We like to rant on here.
There's a lot of unneeded stuff on social media, I think, and there's a lot of. It's weird because it gets rewarded. You know, you'll see people that are making just goofy, stupid stuff, videos, and they'll have followers for it. So I mean, I guess that they're getting what they want out of it, but
There's a market for it, but
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I feel like as a person making that content, there's just something I don't know what the right word for it. I hate to say scummy about it, but you know, there's something a little off about it anyway.
I mean, I respect the game.
Yeah,
If you're going to make
yeah.
money and do what you do, that's great. But there's like kids that have dads that like take them to school and they're like, all right, son, I'm going to go make some TikTok videos at home, you know?
Yeah.
And that is just a damn shame. You know? I don't mean to be that way, but that is a damn shame, buddy.
Yeah, that's a different lifestyle there. ain't it?
Yeah, yes, it is. So if I ever do that on social media, I expect full accountability out of everybody that's my friends to call me out.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to become that guy unknowingly, do you?
Yeah. If I'm like mouthing the lyrics to a country song in my truck, just
What do you think about the fitness influencers before we wrap it up here. The fitness influencers who are at a public gym and, you know, they get upset when somebody gets in their videos and stuff like that.
That's not a good look at all, in my opinion, because they're in the way. Like the people doing that are in the way, not the people that are just trying to exist around.
Yeah.
You know, and I get getting your content or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
And I hate like sometimes people, they associate fitness influencer with cringy video maker, and that's not the same thing, in my opinion.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes people have followers because they make stupid videos, and people view it. And sometimes a lot of the views are people making fun of them or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they're like, "I'm a fitness influencer." Like, well, not really. You know,
Not
like,
really. You're a cringe influencer.
Go back to Chris Bumstead, but people followed Chris Bumstead because he looked outrageous and he grinded. You know.
Yeah.
And
because he's legit.
I think that is the dream, the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it would be awesome to be that guy and to be able to just live off your sponsorships and
yeah, when you're getting all that just because you're the baddest dude, like that's cool. You know? Yeah.
Everybody has to respect that. I mean, you're gonna have
no
haters at any level, but those are just stupid people. I mean, when it comes down to somebody who's really put in the work to get there and they've achieved their dream, you got to respect it.
Yeah, and like I made a comment about Nick Walker earlier. I've never really been a big fan of Nick Walker, but you got to respect people like that grind and get after it. You know, like because that's all we can do. Like we can only control our intensity and effort towards the things that we do, right? So got to respect the people that have got their following from that. That's cool to me. I mean, you know, everybody's gonna be different, but I don't.
Yeah, there's a difference in getting your following from grinding and then getting your following from some stupid video that went viral because people think it's stupid.
Because you look ridiculous.
You're an idiot.
And that's a lot of the rot on social media nowadays. But there's also a lot of good too.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of people that's got a lot of good information and people that are really impressive at what they do, and so I don't want to water that down. No,
there's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of good people to follow and get good info from.
Yeah, there is. I listen to a bunch of just arrays of people that talk about bodybuilding. And
I like that Lane Norton. You know him?
Yeah, Lane Norton's pretty sick.
I like him. I like listening to him, and I mean he calls some people out on some stuff sometimes.
I love that too. I love when people call each other out.
Yeah,
like you know, because that's like holding people accountable to like a moron. You know.
That's kind of keeping they're trying to keep the legitimacy of the real legitimate ones, keeping it from these stupid people that are coming in just for the stupid videos and the viral content.
A lot of people just need to be checked on stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. They get a big head.
Yeah, and so
especially I'd say that's probably real prevalent in the fitness world is
because we're already like it's already kind of I don't want to say it like this, but I'm gonna say it like this. It's already kind of like a narcissistic thing. Like you're wanting to look great.
Yeah.
You're wanting to have a look, you know. I want to look awesome. And so that if you're already kind of thinking that, that's going to attract a lot of outside minds that are really far off, you know. A lot of people they're probably not the best. And there is a lot of that. There's a lot of dirtbags.
Oh yeah.
You know. But didn't mean to get off on my social media tangent or anything, but there's just get on there sometimes and you'll see somebody with all these followers and all this stuff, and you look at their page and you just hit your head against the wall really hard a few times, you know.
That's just, I mean, really though, that's the problem with the whole world really is there's a market for stupid people.
Yeah,
like there's a market for stupidity sales. You know, they used to say sex sales, well now stupidity sales.
Yes, it does, and there is a hefty supply of it. You know?
Yeah, that is true.
You know,
that is very true. That we could probably make a whole nother podcast on that.
Yeah, I could talk about that a lot, but yeah.
Well, thanks again for coming on, and we'll get into that some more the next time.
Of course,
we'll definitely have you back on, maybe closer to your show or after your show
That'd
or something,
great.
and we'll do another. I think this has been a great episode, and
I appreciate you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate
Very
you
cool.
for coming on,
Anytime.
and it's been great. And like I said, we'll do it again. Thanks everybody out there for listening, and like I always say, subscribe to the podcast, and leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. A good review. Don't leave us a bad review. And thanks for listening. Have a good night.
Thank you.